Good morning. It's turned out nice again. It's Wednesday the 9th of October 2019 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. Alright. How's it going, guys? You alright, yeah? So what I'm going to do in this video, first of all, I'm going to give a shout out to Frank T. Yeah, I won't read your surname out. Frank T. He bought me a pint. That's, you know what I'm saying, guys? He bought me a pint. So as far as I'm concerned, Frank is now an absolute legend. Alright? Thank you, Frank. You're a legend. I'm going to email you after I've finished editing this video and begin uploading it. All right. So thanks, Frank. Well, actually, not a pint, because I'm on the lifestyle change and that. All right. So it's a coffee. All right. And if any of you guys would like to support me like that, you know what I mean? Instead of being tight bastards, which most of you are. All right. Don't you be giving me any sort of authority. Bollocks, you know what I'm saying? You've been watching me for years now, and some of you haven't even bought me a pint, man. You could subscribe to DKB.tv or become a KopTalk member, but no, you won't do that, and you won't even buy me a pint. I mean, a coffee. Some of you guys, you bought me steaks and that, coffees and that, you know what I mean? So, look, guys, I'm giving away some of these today, which I think I'm going to do one of these giveaways on DKB.tv today, all right? So, if you get on DKB.tv today, I tell you what I'll do. I will launch this competition on DKB.tv today, but I won't pick the winner until the weekend, Monday. Let's say Monday. So that's giving you plenty of time to join this week if you want to enter a very, very simple competition to win these. I've got some more behind there. I've got some other goodies to give away, books, all sorts, Same on the members website as well. I've already given some of these away on the members website already, actually. Okay, guys, so if you want to support me, all the information is in the video description below. It would be very much appreciated. The more you support me, the more you see these chubby cheeks. Otherwise, when you're not supporting me, I just think, do you know what? They can go and get... You know what I'm saying, guys? You know what I'm saying? But I'd rather be here, and I really don't want a real job, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm 45 now, years, not stone, 45 years now, and I've winged it to this point, all right? But I need your support to help keep me unemployed, all right? Get in the video description below or go to duncanoldham.com and click on support. Right, guys, so what I want to talk to you about today is the comments. That's it. Sorry, not what I'm going to talk to you about. Let me have a look. I'm just clicking around my screen, just closing down X-Hamster. Right, I'm going to go through the comments. This is probably going to be a long video. I don't know how far we're going to go back, so we'll just see what happens. All right. So now, don't forget. For some reason, when I record videos on this computer at the moment, it tends to freeze after 9 minutes. All right, a bit like me when I'm in bed. You know what I'm saying? 9 minutes is quite complimentary, to be honest. But well, it depends if I've dropped an aspirin or not. If it freezes, I'll split it and start again. Just stitch them all together or whatever. Okay, so I can close that down. Frank, thank you very much, my friend. Very much appreciated for your support. Look out for my email soon, brother. Okay, guys, in no particular order, I'm going to go back. I'm going to start from the last comment on my KopTalk.tv YouTube channel, which was on a video called Acknowledging Progress, which I uploaded yesterday morning when I was out with the dog at about 6:30 in the morning, I think. Some of you are liking those videos when I'm having a little ramble when I first woke up. So let's start with that, and it's a comment from Anthony Harris, and he says, "Hiya, Chubs. Good job, I know your friend and not foe. Like you, I'm not too impressed with the international break. If anything goes for us, the Manchester clubs are probably suffering. The Manchester clubs are probably suffering greatly. Also, POC and Spurs must be wanting to get back to action. I expect us to win well at Old Trafford. I also call Hodgson Woy. He may well do us a favour on the resumption of games. I'm sure Pep is not looking forward to Crystal Palace away. If we go into the November game again shitty with a decent lead, we could win the title before Crimbo. Fingers crossed." Anthony, mate, I can't even joke about it. Let's not even talk about the league table. Owen Shergold, he says, "Nice vid, love these little ramblings. Should do this more often. LFC related or whatever is fresh on your mind from waking up." Owen, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I do have another YouTube channel, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. Maybe I should start doing some content on there again as well, away from the football. And I am launching a podcast this week which is nothing to do with football. It's just me putting the world to rights. If you're interested in that, go on iTunes or any podcast app and just search Dunk Knows Best, or go to duncanoldham.com and click on podcast at the top, and you can subscribe to that. It's completely free, of course, and it's just going to be a little bit of fun, some little short little audio podcasts about things in the news and stuff like that. So I think you might like that, Owen. It'd be good to see you on board, my friend. So Lee John Wilson says there is no improvement in his game. He should have stayed at Liverpool. He was playing at the top of his game for us. Now look. Now that's on a video titled James Maddison to Liverpool FC. Fancy it. I assume he's talking about Philip Coutinho there, because I think he might have been mentioned in that video. I can't remember. When you leave a comment, try and mention who you're talking about, guys, because obviously at the time when you post it, I mean, it was only 12 hours ago, but the James Maddison video is probably a few days ago, and I forget what we were talking about in those videos. So I think I'm sure I was talking about Coutinho in that video also. But thanks for your comment, Lee. Who's this? How do you pronounce that then? M-A-E. You know what I'm like. Again, he's talking, I assume it's a he, talking about James Maddison, saying he would be a big boost to the squad. Scoring as well. I say get him for 60 million. Solomon Shehata is talking about on the James Maddison video, saying great to see another vid and you in such a good mood, Dunk. James Maddison would bring that Coutinho role back to Liverpool YNWA. I like James Maddison, guys. I do like him. I would like to see him signed. Norton Kelly. The club has already said it's all being paid, hasn't it? Coutinho, hashtag Coutinho. Can't say I've seen a lot of Maddison, but what I've seen, I didn't see why people seem to like him. I'm deeply confused about the reports I'm seeing about the finances regarding Coutinho and what they did pay for him and what they didn't pay for him. Because we were told that it was nearly paid, and then there's even reports in Spain today saying that Liverpool are owed this. I'm confused with it. I'm not, you know what I mean? I don't know what's going on there. I've read every single report about it, so I know you're going to say, well done. What they said was, I've read them all, but they're all contradictory. It's weird, it's bizarre. Probably not of anything to be worried about, but you know what I'm saying. But yes, Norton, the Liverpool Echo said that money had all but been paid for, apart from 4 million or something like that the last time I heard. So I don't know. I mean, even on the KopTalk members website, I don't think anyone's discussing this. This was something that I was going to raise on there today. If you are a KopTalk member, I don't see anything for discussion at the moment. But I want some clarity with that. There is a post there about Coutinho, but that's going back to the 21st of August. So we'll probably be discussing that later on the members website today. You get free dkb.tv if you remember, and you can join via the video description below. And I'll give you a shout out and a postcard. Hang on. I'm at the wrong desk. I've got them DKB postcards, man. I'll send you one of them. Hey, and if you have joined DKB.tv and you haven't had a postcard yet, and you'd like one, email support@koptalk.org and I will send one out to you. And it'd be a very good idea to email me today or as soon as possible. Not me, but to support@koptalk.org ASAP, because I have got someone going to the UK on Friday, so they could drop them in the post from England. It's a bit easier than here because you can't be doing it in Spanish, you know what I'm saying? Well, what I mean by that is you go to the post office and they're just like really, really, really slow, whereas in England you just stick a stamp and send it, you know what I'm saying? So if you've joined DKB.tv and you'd like one of them postcards, they're really good, then I will send you one. And if you've emailed before saying send me one, Chubbs, you forgot, just send another. Just never stop, because it gets so... I forget. Do you know what I'm saying? I forget. All right, so if you do that, join DKB.tv or want a postcard or whatever, just email support@koptalk.org and I'll take care of it. Pressurise me. Don't let me forget. I've got a memory like a sieve. Jen Crowson, Klopp is the best. Kiss, kiss. All right. Yeah, we agree with that. Because I was talking in that video, acknowledging progress, about how far we've come along, and there was some comments about from Simon Jordan, who is someone that I actually really like listening to, but he did have a go at Klopp the other day, which I thought was a bit unwarranted. Paul Tompkins, he says 49. He's 49 years of age. He calls Manchester United the scum or manure. I would take Maddison. Klopp would make him 50% more the player that he already is. In that video, we were talking about Manchester United, and I was saying, when I was younger, I used to call them the scum and that. And these days, I'm a bit more like, oh yeah, we're playing United. You know what I mean? I don't know. I was just trying to work out. I was saying to people, how do you refer to Manchester United? Do you call them the enemy? Do you call them scum? Do you call them Manchester United? And if so, what age are you roughly, or the age group, to try and determine, because like when I was younger, I called them scum, but now I'm like a granddad. I'm 45. I'm a bit more like, and I just thought, is it because I'm getting old and sensible? Anyway, so he's 49, is Paul, and he still says the scum, so that'll do with me. LFC Spectres talking about the dogs barking, who let the dogs out. Dunk, dunk, dunk. That's in the Acknowledging Progress video. It was 6:30 in the morning. I was walking around with my dog, and all the dogs in the neighbourhood were going mental and shit like that, I think. Jen comments again, and she said, England matches are a total waste of space and pissing about our players. Kiss, kiss. Cameron, I think Jurgen doesn't get enough credit considering the squad he had when he joined the club. Nathan Heath, Dunk, you should do live streams while it's the international break. Live streaming is something that I would be interested in doing for you guys via YouTube. We've had some great ones, especially on a Saturday night, haven't we, guys? When we had some tunes and some refreshments. But I never know when to do them. I don't know what's a good time. So if you're interested in a live stream, guys, especially you, Nathan, let me know when you think it would be a good time, because I've done them on a Saturday, and believe it or not many people, join on a Saturday. I've thought, do I do it an hour before a game? Do I do an hour after a game? Which can be quite late here, because obviously, my time zone's an hour ahead of the UK. So if it's a night game, it's a night. You're not going to get me doing that. Do I do it during the week? Are you all at work and college, or are you all like just tossing it off like these protesters in London at the moment? I don't know when to do it. I'd willingly do it. Afternoon would be good for me, but I think you'll all be busy. So you'll have to advise me on that one. Would you like something where you're new, set in stone? With KopTalk.tv, Big Man will be live every Monday at 6 p.m, for example. Because then I would willingly do that for you guys. Mark John Sarah, he says he's in his 30s and they will always be the scum. I grew up with them lot on top, and the abuse I got from the fans, it is a well-warranted name. Don't go soft in your old age. Fair play on the doggo dunk. Always enjoy your vids, lad. Love the enthusiasm. Thank you. He's referring to, I've already got one adoption dog, rescued dog, and I rescued another one, which I collect in about 2 weeks' time from the rescue centre. So I'm getting my second dog. I think he's referring to that. In relation to Maddison, like Brucey would say, if the price is right, quality players are never a bad thing, and I do like the look of him. Thank you for that, Mark. Jugi Singh, he says he's 60 years old, and he says Banther United, or Banther, B-A-N-T-H-E-R, Banther United, which it's a bit more polite than scum. 60 years of age, yeah, a bit of respect out there, going out there. Adam Drake, completely agree with you. With Brendan, he gave us one or two nice memories. However, that last season with Balotelli, the Sterling saga, and Steven Gerrard leaving was painful. A lot of people at the time wanted him to stay, but I knew Liverpool could be doing better than challenging for fourth at best, and we've proven that right. Obviously, we were talking about Brendan because of his recent visit to Anfield again. This video is approaching the 9-minute mark. So I might stop it myself in a minute, actually, and just to be sure. Let me see, I'll continue. Matt Parker's put the scum or mank fucks. Ha ha ha. Fuck 'em, he said. In other news, Everton are in the relegation zone. Ha ha, Matt's buzzing. This is LOLL37912. Think Klopp was slightly putting his hands behind his ears against his own supporters. People have paid to get in can grumble when we've played well and conceded a late equaliser. However, Klopp is absolutely the man. Special person to take us where we are today. I think when he wins EPL, whether this season or next, he will leave us in a great position. Fucking love him. I've seen a couple of people mention this Klopp with the hands behind the ears. I missed that. I didn't see that, guys. So totally oblivious to that. I'm going to stop the video and start another segment. Okay, so who's next? Jack Badesley. Hi, don't hope you well. I shouldn't be complaining about Man United doing bad. It's just my brothers who are 13 and 14 hate Man City, and they don't understand why I hate the scum United so much. Is it bad that I missed the rivalry? Rivalry is a very important part of football, Jack. I think Jack follows me on Instagram, if that is the Jack. And he has definitely bought me a few pints before as Jack. If that's the Jack. Is that the Jack? I think it is the Jack, and he's a good lad. No, rivalry I think is very important in football. That's why I'm not really a fan of youth football or women's football or anything like this. For me, it's not just about 22 players on the pitch passing a ball around and that. I want to hear the atmosphere. I want to see the fans going mental, payback and all that, crunching tackles. And you don't get that when they're pussyfooting around and that. So a rivalry for me is so important, very important. But you start taking that away from the game and I don't think you've got much of a game left. Okay, I hope it is you, Jack. David Gray, you were more of an hype than usual today there, Dunk fella. I love that. Respect for caring about the dogs, YNWA. Thank you for that, Dave. Mark Roden says, Zoe reminds me of Rodders. She does, actually. She's very, very much like Rodders. Trig Josh, do you still hate FSG, Dunk, or have you changed your mind now? I think they're great. We've bought some decent players through them. We've had the main stand extended. We've got Klopp. The training ground has been done now. And the Anfield Road stand is going to be extended from next year when the training ground is finished. And we were runners-up in the league last year. We won the Champions League and we're 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League, all under the financial guidance of FSG. It was a bit rocky at the beginning because they didn't have a grasp on football, them being American, but I think they're doing well now. I'm just checking what's going on in the background, guys. Right, never hated FSG, just never had much time for them. I think they have finally grasped things. I think that any criticism of them in the past has been absolutely warranted. And I think that is backed up by the fact that they've issued open letters before apologising and saying we got this wrong. There are people that have been extreme FSG out. Would I have liked to see them go at certain times? Absolutely. Would I want them to go now? Wouldn't care less if they went now or not, because I do believe that there would be, a continuation of stability, although it is a gamble. I'm happy with the way things are at the moment. I will never be happy with foreign ownership in terms of people that are not in attendance at the stadium. I'm old school. I like to see my chairman sat there, winning with us, celebrating a win, and also, with his head in his hands when it goes wrong. I am one of the people that hate FSG. And in many of my videos, even during the times when I've been critical of them, I've made videos where I've praised them. And, I thought they were wrong with appointing Brendan Rodgers, for example, when we were all crying out for Klopp, but they listened and they got Klopp. I don't believe all this, I will never believe that they saved the club and all that, but I will absolutely 1,000,000% acknowledge the progress that has been made under their guidance. You cannot avoid that. I'm always going to be, whoever it is that owns the club, I just wish that, I just miss those days where you had your old-fashioned chairman sat there. That's all. It's an old thing, or maybe I'm an old man, but it's just something that you're going to have to let me have. FSG out, never really FSG out, but I've never been FSG in. Does that make sense? I was just disappointed with them. And they're here to make money, which is fantastic, and I don't have a problem with that. They invested money into the club, and they have every right to do so. But no, I mean, I don't hate them. A better thing is to say, have you changed your mind about them? I don't know, because my core beliefs all stem back to, how much they care about the club, I guess. And there has been times when I didn't think they were that bothered. Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. As you can see, I'm struggling to answer the question. I've certainly changed my mind in terms of I think that they are now running the club in a way that the club should be run. Previously, I was not very happy with the way the club was being run. And they have improved, and they have made us a force again. Whether they're responsible or some people will still not acknowledge it. Some people will say, it's Klopp that's done it. They appointed Klopp. They've got the system going. That, like you say, it's taken them time to do it, and there has been improvements. There's no doubt about it. So, have I changed my mind about them? I wouldn't say I've changed my mind about them. I would say I've changed my opinion about the way they were running the club. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Because we did go through a period on here being very critical of them because everything just seems to be going fucking wrong underneath them. Do you know what I mean, guys? So, I try to be, I try not to flip flop. I try to stand by what I believe in, and I'm not. I didn't want to. I don't want to. I didn't want to talk about the owners. That became the main thing that we were talking about all the time. So right now we don't really talk about them much. But should they be applauded for for where we are now? Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Anyway, some people will never do that, but I think they should be. Yeah, without a doubt. But I would never put my hands up and say no, I was wrong because DKB for a start. No, because they themselves put their hands up and said they were wrong, and I think when they do that, that's pretty cool. But I'll never take to people that are not there. That's all. That's just the thing that I'm old-fashioned, man. I'm old and miserable, and I can't help it. What's going on here? What time is it, guys? 11:45. Right. Crystal Palace chairman sounds bitter and twisted over being stitched up with Benteke and Sacco. I wonder if that was to do Dave Shenton there. I wonder if he's maybe misheard me there. I think I was talking about the former Crystal Palace chairman and owner, Simon Jordan, who was critical of Jurgen Klopp the other day, saying that he thought that Klopp had become a bit, too big for his boots. Not too big for his boots. Was maybe being a bit like cocky because he'd won the European Cup, and I don't see that at all in Jurgen Klopp. I've never heard so much nonsense, and I really like Simon Jordan in terms of his insight that he gives from running a football club. All right, Mass A. He says 2010 we almost went into administration. We didn't almost go into administration. I don't believe that. So I think it's a myth. 9 years later, we're European champions, are challenging consistently again. Absolutely. But a lot of people used to come up and say, Liverpool would have folded if it were. No, they fucking wouldn't. What a lot of nonsense. Points deduction at most, and we suffered enough points deduction under fucking Roy Hodgson and Brendan Rodgers. Noble 430. United, mate. He's saying he's calling United. I'm 27. My old childhood was them bastards winning everything, so I fucking hate them. But a lot of respect for what they achieved at the same time. You see that? I like that. You see, the thing is with Manchester United, I have to respect Manchester United. I think there is a genuine mutual respect between the supporters of both clubs. We hate each other, but we have a mutual respect for him. How do I explain this? My phone's flashing, guys, and I can look at that later. We kind of have a. I think sometimes when you hate someone's a compliment. Do you know what I mean? So I hate Manchester United, but I also respect that they are, without a doubt, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. But some people, Liverpool fans, can't even bring themselves to say that, which I understand. That's fine. There's a lad on Twitter, Man United Talk. I've never met him. We've only communicated through Twitter. We hate each other's club. When we play each other, when Liverpool play Man United, I message him on Twitter and on a Saturday, I'll say, I'll speak to you on Monday. Don't want to know. And he puts tweets out, like fucking Liverpool, and I have to stand back and let him have his say, because I've got to be respectful. So we respect each other's views. We're friends. We get on. We discuss and probably have similar views on many things in football, but we hate each other's clubs, but we do respect each other, and I think that's key. I really do. I'm tempted to stop this video in case it continues, in case it freezes. So I will stop it, and this is going to be called number 3. This is only for my benefit. You don't need to know that. Well, I'm on a roll. Talking a roll, I could do with a bread roll. I'm starving. Can't have bread on a low-carb diet. Right, what was Noble 430 continuing to say? So I will never have that level of respect for your Cities and Chelseas and PSGs. Absolutely, this kid knows what he's talking about. When I say kid, I'm not being disrespectful and saying you're a kid. I'm just saying, what I'm saying. Don't get me wrong, though, I'm enjoying every second of how shite Man United are at the minute. I'd love to see us sign Maddison and Timo Werner. I'm not sure where Maddison would fit in the starting 11, to be honest, at the minute, but I think Mane on the left, Salah on the right, Bobby in the 10, and Werner up front would be an amazing front four. What do you think, mate? I think you're a legend. I think everything you say is fantastic. Absolutely. In fact, I'm just going to give that a little like and a heart. You see, that's cute, that, isn't it? You know what I mean? See, I'm not as bad as some people say, guys. You know what I'm saying? What's next? Who are we on to next? Ron Carlisle Cummins. Hi, Duncan. Would like to see... Hi, with a H. Hi, Duncan. Would like to see Trent work on his weight of pass upfield so the front three can create better chances to score. Okay. Yeah, you know, he's a great player, and he's learning all the time. He's learning all the time. I think we've got to be patient with him. I think sometimes we maybe expect too much, but I do like him. I like his story, his background, and I hope he's with us for many years to come. Ron? Chilled Frank says, just call it Manchester, this scum. Manchester. Just call it Manchester, this scum. Love this vid, and the older you get, the better you get. Hooray! I agree with that. Right. Kevin Keeley Jr. says, yo, Dunk, I'm 33 and I have changed how I refer to Man United. Bless them. They're a mid-table club now. Inconsequential. Worse than any insult, the truth. I like that. I'll give that a thumbs up. Am I still recording? Yes, I'm still here, guys. Ben Storm says, Man Poo will always be the scum, mate. We will beat them 3-0. We defiantly need at least one goal scoring midfielder. I think that is definitely. What do you reckon, Ben? Possibly 2. Our current midfielders are hopeless at scoring goals, YNWA. Do you guys think that Jordan Henderson's going to be around for much longer? Do you think I mean, I can't see the boss wanting to bomb him out, you know, or get rid of him, so, you know, like, make a point of getting rid of him, but I'm not sure what the future is for Jordan Henderson. But you know, he's a lot better than he used to be. He's going 5-yard. There you go. See how times change. I would have referred to him as 5-yard at one time. Mark Vader says they are scum and will always be scum, and he's put them in capital letters to emphasise that. Nice one, Mark. Alan Roberts has put Mank shite 36. Don't forget I asked how old people were just to see if they were like maybe more abusive to them if they were younger. What's this one here, Mr. Campbell? What's he got to say? Maddison is a good player. Would he be able to handle the pressure of playing for Liverpool, though? Yes, absolutely. Sabertooth Snail, Ox and Kiter already cover the transition part for the club, and they hardly play. Maddison is quality, but he'd be wasted at Liverpool, in my opinion. James Edwards, Dunk. Sorry, do you miss Brendan's number 2 at Liverpool, Colin the Plumber? LOL, that's an old KopTalk TV reference there. Yeah, Colin, we used to say, didn't I, he used to look like, he did, didn't he? He used to look like a plumber, like he just turned, Colin, he did, didn't he? If he walked in your house and went, I love you, all right, I've come to fix your boiler, you would definitely think that was... I remember the good old days on KopTalk TV. Anthony Harris, again, does a bear shit in the woods. This is in reference to James Maddison to Liverpool. Fancy it. It seems Maddison is a talent and every club needs refreshing, just as Tottenham. Things are looking really good. I know, in capital letters, you don't want to talk about that. Still would like to see some incomings in January. You will never walk alone. Nice one, Anthony. Mighty Mouse, you speak so fast. What accent is that? I only speak fast when I'm in a rush. Do you know what I'm saying? Speak fast when I'm in a rush. Chilling now, so I would say that you would think that I'm just going along. What accent? I don't know what accent. You know, sometimes people go, you sound like a Geordie. I'm from Yorkshire, North Yorkshire. I have lived in North Yorkshire. I have lived in Scarborough, Northallerton, just up at Newcastle. I lived there for a few years. I lived in Spain for 12 years. I think Spain is the longest. This house is the longest I've ever lived anywhere in my life. But I don't sound like a Spaniard yet, do I? Do you know what I'm saying? Although I do always say tomorrow. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Which, if you know anything about Spain, Spain is very much tomorrow. Mañana. You know, if you ask a Spanish workman when he's going to do it, he'll go mañana, which means tomorrow. And I have adopted a very much tomorrow stance on life. Andrew Holloway, hello Andrew. He says, I've always called them shitty United. He's 31. Oliver says the scum need to be commented on. We have to give them one up the bum. Now that we are back on our perch again, we'll have one foot on it anyway. He says he's 49. I recognise Oliver's face. Justin says Klopp want to sign Martin Odegaard. Right, okay. I've seen that mentioned before. And Oliver Heaney again is saying the scum are in for Maddison, but he would be playing Championship football next season, so we have a good chance of getting him. Pete Shippey in capital letters has put shit stain. Not you, Dunk, man, you. Radical Gambino, a future replacement for Hendo. That is in relation to James Maddison. Paul Stevenson says, I'm 43, big fella, and to this day I still call them lot Manu. I've got another message there, but I can't deal with that at the moment, I'm afraid. And you know what happens, guys? When I make you a video, and I'm recording a video like this, which is again hitting 6 minutes now, if I don't answer people, they message me, and if I don't answer within, say, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, I get zillions of messages from the same person. Whoever they are, saying, why have you not answered my message? Why not? Well, so because I'm talking to people on KopTalk TV, answer. You know what I mean? You have to wait a minute. Clearly, they can't do anything for me at the moment. Because if that was something that I needed, I'd be all over that. You know what I'm saying, guys? Banged one out this morning. Right, so that was Paul Stevenson, I think. I'm 43, still call him not Manure. Jane Crossan again. Brendan Rodgers was okay, but no Klopp. There's no kisses on that. Very disappointed. Manu are the tarts. Good on you rescuing another dog, she added. LFC Spectre. James Maddison is like buying a pack of Walker's chips, ready salted. Not great, but not bad. Just okay in the middle. LFC Spectre comments on my videos quite a lot. Crisps. Oh, a packet of crisps. What's your favourite crisps, guys? Cheese and onion? Salt and vinegar? When I used to go in my nana's pantry and there used to be a packet of prawn fucking cocktail there, I used to be like that. Oh, God, fucking prawn cocktail. But they used to, what else? What was that other one? Smoky bacon, was it, Walkers? They were alright. Were a bit drab though. I like them is it Seabrook guys? What are they? In the other packet, they're not Walkers. I think they're called Seabrook cheese onion soft. Ooh, they're like crinkly. Ooh, crisps. Can't have crisps on a low carb diet. Fuck my life. Stop talking about food. You're not helping. McC. Alright, Dunk. Steve McMahon was my favourite player growing up too. Did you notice Klopp cupping his ears towards the main stand? They were constantly moaning throughout the game apparently. I wouldn't mind a bit of Maddison too. So you were talking about Steve McMahon saying how... Because Steve McMahon had made some comments, hadn't he? Was it? I think it might have been Steve McMahon had said about James Maddison, wasn't it? I think that's what that video was about, I think. I think McMahon was urging Liverpool to go out and try and sign Maddison. I didn't notice the cupping of the ears towards the main stand, but you're the second person in the comment section to make reference to that. And I too would be quite happy to sign Maddison. Yes, this is still recording. I'm going to stop it there. What video are we up to now? 1, 2, 3. Right, we're going to save this and call it 4. For some reason, recently when I record videos on QuickTime, they often hang after about 9 minutes, and then when the video freezes, I have to do a complete reboot of the system, and it's just a ball ache. And I often record videos, when I do that I just give up. So I'm taking no chances, hence the segments that I'm recording these videos in. And I do apologise if it's annoying you, although it shouldn't do really, because it'll just be a few seconds of waffle like this. Right, so Tom Conley says, they have been affectionately known as the scum since I can remember, Dunk. I'm over 50. Rodgers spouted some deluded shite in his post-match interview. He must have been at a different game than me, up the Redmen. Again, I didn't see the... why did I not see so much? Why was I not paying attention to this game? Was that the game that I complained about the stream? I think it was the Leicester game. My streams were going down and I was stressed out and just, guys, you know what I mean? In the end, I was like, do you know what? I have two streaming providers, or in effect 3, and I don't get much joy at the moment or on that day. And in the end, I ended up putting a free stream on my laptop, which worked perfectly. Do you know what I mean? So this streaming situation has got to be sorted out, and I think that's why I didn't see so much of that game, because people keep making reference to it, and I'm like, no, I didn't see that, and I didn't see the interviews, and that would be because I'm stressed out. So when it finished, I'd have been like, fuck that shit, you know what I'm saying? But thanks for your comment, Tom. Gary Richards has put, where's the Eccles cakes, son? Now, I saw this comment the other day, Gary. Gary comments on my Instagram as well, which is at Duncan Alden. And I don't quite understand what you mean with Eccles cakes. It says here, an Eccles cake is a small round cake filled with currants and made from a flaky pastry with butter, sometimes topped with demerara sugar. I've never heard of them before. and that is on a video titled James Maddison to Liverpool. I don't know. Fancy it, not saying it as a statement. It was a question. So you're going to have to, Garrett, you're going to have to explain yourself on that one, mate. Did I reference something to do with cakes in the video? That doesn't sound like me. You know what I mean? Just because I'm a salad dodger doesn't mean I stuff my face with cakes all day. I fucking would have given chance. Facility time, I think we think we can win every game. Yes, I think we do. Yeah, it's a good feeling. William Spencer is not against a bad dunk, so hopefully he'll play for the Man U game. I think we were talking in there, William, about Mo Salah, weren't we? I think because this is on a comment for the Liverpool Leicester game. Liverboy says, I can't wait for the Man United game after the break. I hope the players go for blood and put 4 or 5 past them. LFC Spectre again, we're top of the league, get in. That's on the Leicester video. I can't see who's dropping a lot of points like last season. Brendan Rodgers was a yes man. Jurgen Klopp was no bollocks sort of guy. Dunk, why not subscribe to Sky Sports YouTube channel? They're showing highlights of each game. The Sky Sports, I don't want to see highlights. I want to see the game live. And honestly, the equipment that I have here to enable me to do that is just ridiculous. You know, I have genuine subscriptions to Sky Sports, genuine subscriptions to BT Sport. I have a dodgy box that gives you access to all the Saturday 3 p.m s. I have 2 or 3 IPTV providers that provide, you know, and yet still you can have problems. And I just think it's about time that, you know, people like me that are willing to pay to watch my team play can do so legitimately. Do you know what I'm saying? But thanks for the heads up. It's just that I don't have a problem with the highlights. I just want to make sure that I can see the game when it's taking place. Thomas South says he agrees that the majority of fans that Mane made the most of the challenge from Mark Albrighton, but it should have been a pen because we have seen it so many times with other teams. Again, we're talking about the Leicester game. We are great. We were very lucky, but another 3 points in the bag because Leicester City are no miss anymore. Agreed, Dunk. Yes. I do also think Klopp has got a massive point on the horrific tackle on Salah. It was only a yellow, but it was definitely a red. Nearly forgot, Dunk. Enjoy your brekkie. I will have done. What we're going here? Oh, all right. Calm down, dickhead. Now then, this is going back to a more serious video, which was the Peter Beardsley's racism ban from 2 weeks ago. And Late Gamer reacts says, yeah, I get from where you are partially coming from. When I was younger, I played under-9s football, and I was called out a monkey, and they called me the N-word, and it continued till I got into secondary school. People also mocked my religion regularly, especially being Muslim. I just feel like there is a big bubble in society on what to say and opinions on racism. In Egypt, he's left out a little bit there, but it says, called me the N-words and compared to Coca-Cola. That's fucking terrible. I feel like the media do disrespect black players like Raheem Sterling, and they constantly call him out for tattoos, haircuts, houses and everything. And the media ain't openly racist, but it's very subtle. The only point I would say to that bit, I'm just going to chip in there, is I do think that they do single Raheem Sterling out sometimes, but I honestly do see when players have been a little bit high profile like Raheem Sterling, and they've been a bit flash over the years, that regardless of skin colour, they've stuck the boot in on them as well. Although you could argue, did they really stick the boot into David Beckham negatively a lot of the time, or was he seen as the golden boy? So you might have a bit in there. I'm not dissing you whatsoever, but I have seen big named white players given an hard time as well. I think if you're flash and flamboyant, they stick the boot in. I mean, that particular rag that we won't mention did it the other week, didn't they, to someone, and I can't remember who it was. Because of was it a backpack or something? Because he put it out on Twitter himself, and he responded to it, and obviously I'm sure I can't remember who it was, but he was a white player. So I do think that the media will single players out if they're a bit cocky or a bit flamboyant, and I'm not sure that is down definitely to skin colour, but I do think that they do single players out with Raheem Sterling on certain topics, whereas they may not with others. And there's a point of that we will come to a comment in this video. I'm hoping this is still recording. Yes, it is. There is another comment that I saw on here, which I think we'll get to in a moment, which you will probably agree with, and it was an interesting point, so I'll go with that. I'll continue saying reading what you said. And Late Gamer Reacts goes on to say, by the way, I ain't a triggered pussy or something because my sister-in-law is from the Indian subcontinent, and I love everyone. Yeah, I like that, man. I love everyone, man. You know, sometimes over the years I've said things, and I banter and I joke and stuff, and I've tamed that down a bit because of the society that we live in now. You can't even poke fun at racism, and what I mean by that is I will poke fun at racism and society in general because it's wrong. And what I mean by that, I'm going to give you an example. I've mentioned this before. I think I mentioned it in that video. You know, I was out in a bar with some black friends of mine a couple of years ago, probably 5 or 6 black lads, right? And just me and the chick that were white, and they're black, we're white. And for example, you know, I said to the chick, like, hey, what's your handbag with these fuckers, right? Like that, because that was a joke to them, because I was poking fun at society as to what society and some people would say. Does that make sense? So I wasn't endorsing that suggestion. I was basically saying, you know, because you know, do you know what I mean? Because stuff like that does my tits in. But I wouldn't fucking say that to someone I didn't know, because they wouldn't, you know what I mean? Because they'd take it the wrong way. They were like, at you, fucking cheeky little fat fucker. Do you know what I mean? So, but they understand, and you know, one of my best friends out, and probably my actual best friend that lives in Spain, is a black kid called Leroy, and we constantly talk about racism. He's a performer here. He's a singer. Does the circuit, you know, the bars and everything, and he often tells me of stories that, you know, people go up to him that say things to him based to do with his race. You know, they'll go up to him and go, "You're not bad, are you?" You know, go, what do you mean I'm not bad? I say, well, you know, because, you know, your types and that, like, you know, and it's like, and I'm like, you're fucking joking, man. And he's like, no, this is what people say. So this is serious shit, and I hate it, guys, honestly. And one of the ways that we can stop stuff like this is by challenging people on Facebook that we consider to be our friends. I have 2 Facebook accounts. I have one for personal, because I've got my family and my kids on there, and I have one for KopTalk. The one on KopTalk's irrelevant because I don't really know the people on there as I do on my other account. But on my other account, I often see some people that I wouldn't say are friends, but the people that I maybe know, maybe through a friend, or do you know what I mean? And sometimes I'll see them put something on, and I'll think, that's not right. That's bordering on racism or inciting. And I think sometimes we have got to chime into that and go, hey, mate, not being funny, but I don't think that's funny. And until we start challenging that, people will continue to do it. Does that make sense? You can't change someone that's a bell end. You just can't. But you can, if you just go like that, if you read something, I think, like on Facebook, from someone you know somewhere along the line, and you let it go, then you're just letting them get away with it. The downside, of course, is a lot of us don't want to be arguing with someone, and it just, even saying that, going, I don't think that's funny, mate, you know, you can get a mouthful back. So you've got to be careful. I understand, but for me, you know, what might have been acceptable 20 years ago or something, 30 years ago, is not acceptable now. And like Late Gamer Reacts here is saying, you know, he's not a pussy. So he's not easily offended. You know, these people that are offended by anything, I can't stand them, whether they're black, white, or whatever. Yeah, I can't stand these people. People that are offended on behalf of other people. I fucking hate that about the UK at the moment. Hate it. But, you know, he's saying, I'm not a pussy, but some of these things bother me. And that's the sort of person I want to listen to. That's who I want, sat in a Sky News studio on the panel, talking about these issues. Not someone that's an absolute fanny. Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's deeply offended, you know, because he looked at me, you know, fuck off. This is the sort of person I want to listen to, especially when he says he, you know, likes everyone. 11 minutes long. I'm going to stop this, guys. Number 5. So Late Gamer Reacts goes on to say, I don't think it's racist, by the way. Saying the word black, mixed race, I don't think is racist, by the way. At the end of the day, we are all equal, just different colours, and our colour shouldn't mean anything to our lives. Exactly. And I don't understand it. I mean, you know, when I was growing up as a kid, you know, there was, you know, society did maybe, I don't know if it was racist, there's usually certain terminology or certain words. Whereas today you can't use those words, which is right. But there is, I don't understand, I have never understood this, how someone could be bothered about the colour of someone's skin. I genuinely, and I will laugh about anything, and you know me, guys, I'm not a pussy like this kiddie, I'm not. So I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. I know that some people maybe don't like a particular group of people because maybe they have them as their neighbours, and then generalise and say, do you know what, I'm fucking sick of them and their fucking music or their fucking... Do you know what I mean? I understand that a little bit, but I don't understand it when it's just like the whole thing, you know. Because I used to know this kid that supported Leeds United years ago, and he was always going on about black people. And I used to say, well, you like Leeds United, you love Leeds United, you've got black players playing for Leeds. You know what he used to say? He used to say, now we consider them as white. And I used to think, oh, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? Crazy. It's like, well, you got a black doctor, your GP's black. No, he's white. He's all right. It's like, well, I don't understand. I don't know if it's immaturity or whatever. But anyway, it was a discussion that we had on a video about Peter Bates' racism ban. I tried to touch on the subject in my usual manner, where I tried to have a bit of a laugh and a joke, but it was a very serious video, in all fairness. And I do get apprehensive about making videos like that because people are very quick to twist your words. Do you know what I mean? I remember a video I did on KopTalk, which was I filmed in the Liverpool FC club shop at Anfield, just on my phone, and there was like a tunnel that you could walk down some steps through, only like 2 steps or something. It was like more like access for a wheelchair or something, but it was a tunnel, and at the end of the tunnel was a huge wall poster of do you know what, guys? I can't remember who it was. It weren't Momo Sissoko. No, it weren't. It was the defender. Oh, Jesus. What was his name? I know you guys are screaming at me. I'm not even going to tell you what club he's at now, and I know which club it is, because I know you're screaming at me. Sacco. Sacco. It's Sacco, isn't it? I'm going to kill myself. Sacco. Mamadou Sacco. Is that how you pronounce his name? You know what I mean. I knew exactly who I meant. And player that I actually quite liked as a Liverpool player. And obviously he's a very, you know, this is it. We're going into that territory now where I'm going to say he's a very dark-skinned, very black person. You know, like fucking, can I get into trouble for saying that? And that's where I worry. And that's what fucking society's like now. You know, because someone could say something with all the greatest of intention, go, well, he's very dark, isn't he? And they'll be like, you fucking racist prick. And you're like, the fuck? I'm just saying, do you know what I mean? And like, back in the day, when I was younger growing up, my nana and granddad, well, maybe not my nana, I don't know, but that generation, your older people would have gone, oh, he's as black as a coal man. Which meant that he was really black, you know. If you don't know what a coal man is, go and put coal man in and Google images and you'll see what I mean. Because your coal man brought coal around and his hands would be covered in coal and in dust and his face. And that was a thing. They weren't racist. They were just saying, oh, he's as black as a coal man, is Frank. Frank, I'm using that name a lot. Do you know what I mean? And that is something that I would normally say. Or I'm urged to say, I'll go, oh yeah, Sacco, yeah, black as a coal man. But people would say, you can't fucking say that. You know, so you've got to be so careful. And when I make these videos, I worry now. Years ago, I'd be like, fuck off, daft soft cut. But you've got to be careful. And anyway, I made this video about Sacco. He was at the end of this tunnel. And there was a big picture of him on the wall. So his head was like a full size of a normal adult, if that makes sense. It was just his head on the wall as you walk down this tunnel at the end of it. And the tunnel was a little bit dark. So you've got to be careful. What do you mean it was dark? It was a fucking dark tunnel. And at the end of it was Sacco, right? His head. He looked real menacing at the end of the tunnel like that. And his eyes like that. Right? So his eyes were really stood out, obviously. What do you mean they were really stood out, obviously? What do you mean? Because the tunnel's fucking dark, he's black, and his eyes are white, so he stood out like really, you could really see these eyes piercing at you, right? And I remember saying on the video, on here, I said, fucking hell, I wouldn't like to bump into him on a fucking night, you know, dark night or something down an alley. That's all I said. because he looked menacing. He looked menacing. Scary. It was deliberate. His face was like that. Right? Now, if that had been Dejan Lovren, in the same thing, with the same facial expression like that, I'd have said the same thing in the video. I'd have gone, oh, fucking hell, I won't bump into him. Think of Martin Skirtle, right? Someone like that. Or Steven Gerrard when he's got his hard face on and he's down on, what I mean? You'd say the same thing. I would have said the same thing, straight up. I'd have gone, oh, fucking hell, I want to bump into him on a fucking dark night on my own, because I was trying to suggest that I was fucking scared, because he was an hard player. And someone was on the comments and on here on YouTube going, you fucking racist this, racist that. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm not saying it because he's black. I'm saying it because he looks menacing. And that was it. You can't say anything. And it's those people, I think, those people that see racism in everything when it is not intended to be that, they create more. They add to the problem, And I tell you who I think does this quite a bit as well, Stan Collymore. I don't dislike Stan. Stan Collymore, I thought he was a great player for Liverpool. He was the partnership they had with Robbie Fowler was fantastic, right? We all know that Stan had, mental issues, and still does, I think, if you were to speak to him. And Stan is very good. He's very good at expressing himself. I'm turning my phone over because it's flashing again. Stan is very good at expressing himself. He's very good at raising things. He has a podcast now, which is really good. But I can't help but think that sometimes Stan always makes... Not always, because that would suggest that sometimes... I just think sometimes that he will pull someone up or something up that I think, no, Stan, I don't think that was racist. But then am I allowed to have that opinion as a white guy? Do you know what I mean? It's really difficult. But I just think that sometimes that... I often find myself following and unfollowing Stan on Twitter because sometimes I just think that's... Nah. But he can... I'm from Yorkshire, right? And I don't think Stan has got much time for Leeds United fans. I think he must have had an incident there maybe with something to do with them. Let me just see which... Right, here we go. Just getting Stan's Wikipedia page up. Yes, okay. I wasn't sure if it was Bradford City or Hull City that Stan had turned out for. I thought it was Bradford, but I didn't want to commit until I saw it. So Stan played for Bradford 7 times, and I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't during that time maybe turn out against Leeds United, who are obviously Bradford's rivals, and that would be an intense Yorkshire derby. I honestly do not know if that ever happened, but I do know that Stanley often refers to people from up there as Yorkies, right? Now that don't offend me. Fucking don't offend me. If you're from York, for example, they might say you're a Yorkie or something. The only thing I like about Yorkies is them big fucking chocolate bars. You know what I'm saying? It's my favourite chocolate, guys, a Yorkie bar. Right? Even though they're about this fucking big now. Well, it depends what context you're talking. If it's that big in relation to sex or something, it's massive. You know what I'm saying, guys? Fucking massive. But if it's chocolate bar, I want it that fucking big. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at there, don't you? Right. Don't worry, I've got no worries there. I'm all right. I think. But what I mean by that is Stan will often refer to them as Yorkies, and I think, well, hang on a minute. See, it froze then. It froze on that one. So yeah, if some people single out a certain part of the country or a certain type of people or whatever, it's racism according to Stan, but when he says it about people from a particular area of the country, it's acceptable. It's kind of like, it doesn't bother me, it doesn't offend me, it's like he can fucking call people from Yorkshire anything he wants, because I'm not a pussy, it doesn't bother me, stuff like that. But I just think that Stanley, Victor Collymore, sometimes takes some things that I don't think are racist and makes it. I can't explain what I mean. I don't mean any disrespect to Stan at all, because I'm sure he's been subjected to racist abuse throughout his life, and I wouldn't want to put down any person who has been subjected to racial abuse or any kind of racism and say, well, my opinion's more than you because I'm a white guy. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? But I think this kid sums it up well. I say kid because you haven't got a name on here. It's just a late gamer reacts username, so I can't refer you to you as your name. But I think that you refer to it, in the way that you're saying, I'm not a pussy, but certain things offend me, and that's what I like. But I made that comment about Sacco and said I wouldn't like to bump into him on a fucking, and it was like, you're racist, and I was like, nothing to do with it. If it had been another mental-looking Liverpool player, regardless of the skin colour. I said the same thing, and I just think that these people often add, fuel to the fire and make it worse. That's what I think. Wow, it's a long reply to that, wasn't it? And as Late Gamer React says, he loves everyone. At the end of the day, we're all equal, and colour shouldn't mean anything to our lives. And he's 100% correct. And I can't endorse those comments anymore. So that's really good. In fact, I'm going to reply to that because I really want him to see this comment. Just to let you know, I have responded to these comments in my video today. It will be uploading shortly. If you see this comment before it's online, YNWA. Right, moving on from that, I hope, but there is another comment on the racism that I want to touch on very briefly. Mr. Bert Macklin says, Adrian and Matip are the unexpected stars for me at the moment. A lot of games in the coming 2 weeks. Would love to see some rotation. They did look very tired in the second half. Anyways, big man YNWA. That was the Chelsea video that I did. Moving on. Sorry. I acknowledge your comment. I'm just the other video crashed and it's in the background whirring and doing all sorts. Andrew Baldy, great to hear you so upbeat and enjoying another great start to the season. Still early days and let's enjoy the season one game at a time. Great time to be a Liverpool fan after a period of stagnation, culminating with Roy Hodgson's appointment. Arsenal and Man U can learn a lot from our example, bringing a quality coach, implement a system, bringing key players and giving time making incremental improvements each season. Our success that we now enjoy was not overnight but earned. Win or lose, we have a team and a manager we can be proud of and a person like Dunk to keep us grounded. Enjoy KopTalk as always and looking forward to your next post, YNWA. That's a really nice comment, Andrew. Thank you very much for that. That was on the Chelsea video. I won't go over the Chelsea one too much because obviously it is time sensitive. Christopher Chambers commenting on the racism video says, Dunk, fair play man for making the video. The PC Brigade are killing our society. I aren't racist, by the way. I'm Irish. My wife is Polish. One of my best mates is from Malaysia and the other from Kenya. Give that a little thumbs up. I want to get to the racism video. I'm sure it's here. Where is it, guy? Here we go. This is the comment that I'm gonna sign off on the Peter Beardsley racism ban. This is by someone called Tats T-Dog, I think. T-A-T-S? Tats T-D-A-W-G. We're going to call him Tats. All right, Tats. He says, Dunk, you also have to factor in some undertones which some white pundits use when referring to a black player. For example, he's strong and powerful. But when referring to a white player, they'll say he's intelligent and elegant, implying that just because a black player might be very athletic, he doesn't have brains. These are things as black people we observe when watching pundits like Graham Souness, but to the untrained ear, such as a middle-aged white man, they wouldn't observe these hidden undertones. You have to ask, where do these statements come from? There's a lot more racism in football than you think, trust me. So this is a really good comment, and it made me think. Because I do see them refer to black players sometimes as strong and powerful. So you can think of someone like Emilesky. They would say, well, he's strong and powerful. But then when you try and think of someone in the same sort of position, size, whatever, who could you say? Alan Shearer, did they used to say to Shearer? Would they refer to Shearer as being strong and powerful? I actually think they probably would have done. But when referring to a white player, they'll say he's intelligent and elegant. I want to try and be. What do I want to say? I want to try and not rubbish the comments. I want to try and say no, that's wrong. Not because I want to disrespect Tats whatsoever. In my mind, I'm like, before I say, yes, you are right, I'm looking at it as I do with everything, like I did in the Peter Beardsley video, read what the allegations were and try and say, is that right? Not for the sake of trying to prove someone wrong, but to try and get to the right decision. It's no good just agreeing with people. So I would say, I think it is fair to say that I often hear black players being referred to as strong and powerful. But is that because they are strong and powerful? Do you know what I mean? But would they have said that about Everett? Would they have said he's strong and powerful because he's not in that physique or frame as such? But maybe if he went down the wing, at one time, would he have, if he brought the ball up from the defence, would they have said, oh, he's strong and powerful? So I get what you're saying. Whereas an player is intelligent and elegant. Someone like Michael Owen playing, back in the day, you would imagine them saying he's intelligent and elegant. But is that not because he is intelligent and elegant, or is that because he's white? You would literally... what I would say to this is I don't think it applies in every scenario. But I do think there's some truth in what Tats is saying here. And that is a bit lazy, but is it because, and this is where I might get into trouble, is it because many black players are strong and powerful? Is that what it is? I mean, if you think of black players, I'm not generalising, I'm fucking running the question through my head, so don't start. Are a lot of black players strong and powerful? Did they come... I mean... You can't just say that, can you? You can't just say... I mean, John Barnes is... I want to ask John Barnes about this. He's my go-to for all opinions to do with racism. So, I think there's some truth in it. I'm not sure it applies in every scenario. I'm trying to think in my mind of a black player that I would say is definitely not strong and powerful, but I'm struggling. I mean, even Divock Origi, for example, he's obviously not a white player. I would say he's strong and powerful. But would I say that Jordan Henderson is strong and powerful? No, I wouldn't. Would you say he's intelligent and elegant? Some people maybe would. So I think it's a really good question. And to be honest, I would like to have made a video about that on its own. So if you're still watching this video at that point, I would really appreciate some comment with respect as to whether or not you think Tats is right with this. And if he's saying... that we don't observe these hidden undertones, I'm not going to disagree with him because he will have seen this and thought about this a lot more than I have. So I'm trying to cut it up and try and examine it as to whether that is true. So, and he's saying there's a lot more to racism in football than you think. So it's something that when I read that comment, out of all the comments I've seen recently, it was one that made me think. Because when I first read it, I thought, he's strong and powerful versus he's intelligent and elegant. And I thought, straight away, yeah, I've heard that. But I'm not sure it applies in every scenario. But it's something that I will definitely be paying attention to the next time I watch the footy. But I'm trying not to be... I'm trying not to generalise, trying not to be stereotypical or whatever about people. But often, black footballers, in my mind, are strong and fucking powerful. The players I can see in my mind now, they're saying that though. Does Jimmy Traore, would you describe him as strong and powerful? I don't think you would you? But I'm sure they didn't ever describe him as that. But... I don't know. I want to agree with Tats on this, and I want to high five. Am I allowed to say high five? Am I saying high five because he's black? No, of course not. But someone will probably say that that's why I said it. I want to shake his hand, his elegant hand. There we go, elegant hand. But it'll be that powerful, it'll crush me fucking. Do you know what I'm saying, guys? It's a tricky one, trying to make humour out of some of it, but there you go. I think that's going to be the end of the video. It's gone on for ages, and it is now my lunchtime. We've gone over 10 minutes. The video will probably freeze in a moment. Please do support me. Thanks for your comment, Tats. I would appreciate your feedback if you watch this. I will leave a comment in a moment to tell you I responded to you. I would really like to hear from other people. Bearing in mind, we have a lot of people of different colours, different backgrounds, different views. There's bound to be people on here that would probably dismiss such comments and say no, and there's some people on here that will be offended without a doubt. So you can't. Unfortunately, we have to try and go through and try and pick out what the majority say. But that's the comments that I will be looking out for on TV, especially with the likes of Souness, who has been singled out there. I'm going to give some of these away today. On dkb.tv. well, I'm going to certainly promote them, and I will pick a winner on Monday or something. And to be honest, DKB.TV, you know, we don't have you know, the same amount of people over there as on here, so you might have a good chance of doing that. If you're on the members website also, I will run, because I've got another competition there, because I have got some books. I can see 4 books behind me, at least another one of these, and there's some other goodies and stuff like that that you might be interested in. But more importantly, I'm just trying to bribe you into supporting me, okay? So if you'd like to support me, please do. Go through the video description below, dkb.tv, KopTalk members website, or buy me a coffee, you know what I'm saying? Get me a coffee, you know, I'm begging, you know what I mean? The begging bull is out, the internet begging bull. Do you know what I mean? But when I go out, I like to go out, take my laptop, have a coffee, you know, and if you buy me a coffee, I'll record a video, you know what I mean? And tell people how fucking amazing you are. But yeah, basically I'm trying to avoid real life and having to go and work for a living, you know what I'm saying? So you've got to admire that, haven't you guys? You know what I'm saying? All the info below, jokes apart, love your support. If you're not in a position to support me, there are other ways of supporting me, which is by subscribing to my videos, liking my videos, because the likes piss off people that don't like me, and also by commenting. The comments, actually, the most important thing on here. Alright, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. I'm going to throw this online now. It's going to take a bit of time to edit it, so I do give up a lot of time for you fuckers. And I hope you appreciate it. So what number's that then? This is going to be number 7, the 7th segment of the video. Right guys, take care, and I would like your feedback on this video if you can spare a few seconds. Alright, I'll speak to you in a bit guys. Alright. Oh, stop. I've got to press the stop button first, fatty.